most about Michael Jordan as a player was the fact that I didn't have to try to guard him. If you had a scheme, he was going to fill the hoop up until you either figured it out or the game was over and you lost the game. Some of his acrobatic drives to the hoop are just remarkable. You know, he can get past the defense and use a little bit of English off of the glass. The ball drops in so nice. It takes some really advanced skills to do that consistently. The 1988 All-Star Game was a showcase for Michael. Michael had figured out all the things he needed to know to be a dominant player. Everything. One-on-one, couldn't guard him. What Michael Jordan showed the whole sports world was the fact that you put the right people with him, he's going to lead them to world championships, without question. He was a prime example of excellence and a leader that would lead you all the way to the top, all the way to the top. That was basketball at its finest.
The L weaving its way through these quiet winter streets as all the action is inside the raucous Chicago Stadium.
To the All-Star Exhibition Game. Get up and get loud for your West All-Stars. At forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance, the standout veteran of the Denver Nuggets, 6'7", Alex English. Making his All-Star debut, the front court star of the Utah Jazz, the mailman, 6'9", Karl Malone. The man in the middle, an All-Star, each of his 4 pro seasons from the Houston Rockets, 7 feet, Akeem Olajuwon. At guard, making his first All-Star appearance, the versatile star of the Denver Nuggets, 6'3", Lafayette Fat Lever. And the NBA leader in assists in his 8th All-Star game from the Los Angeles Lakers, 6'9", Irvin Magic Johnson. The head coach of the West All-Stars is Brad Nelson. Let's hear it for your West All-Stars. And now, the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference. At forward, a 3-time most valuable player, an All-Star each of his 9 seasons from the Boston Celtics, 6'9", Larry Bird. He's one of the NBA's most exciting players. In his 3rd All-Star game from the Atlanta Hawks, 6'8", Dominique Wilkins. The man in the middle, an All-Star for the 10th time. One of the game's most rugged rebounders from the Washington Bullets, 6'10", Moses Malone. At guard, the most valuable player of the 1984 and 1986 All-Star Games. This Chicagoan is making his 7th All-Star appearance from the Detroit Pistons, 6'1", Isaiah Thomas. And finally, the NBA leader in scoring and steals, an All-Star each of his 4 seasons, the charismatic star of the Chicago Bulls, 6'6", Michael Jordan. The head coach of the East All-Stars is Mike Fratello.
Greetings, everyone, from Chicago, the host of the 1988 All-Star Game. Alongside the terrific Clark Kellogg and our reporter David Aldridge on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this terrific city has produced some greats, and 4 of them playing tonight.
You're exactly right, Kevin. The Windy City, Chicago, has produced Mo Cheeks, Isaiah Thomas, Doc Rivers, and Mark Aguirre, all All-Stars, and I'm sure they've got plenty of family and friends in attendance to enjoy their performance on the court.
Yep, so much to celebrate. And Clark, is there a common thread when you think about a Chicago-type player?
Well, I certainly do believe there's a common thread. When playing outside or outdoors in the Windy City, the perimeter shot can easily get blown off course. So you got to be able to get that thing to the rack and in a straight line fashion. And that's something all Chicago players share in common.
A lot of high flyers, you're right. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside, and Dominic Wilkins with Larry Bird, the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
And it's the West All-Stars to start out. Here's Johnson. Now the pass to Lever. Six on the shot clock. Olajuwon on the wing. Over Malone. Offensive rebound. Malone. Over Bird. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
I tell you what, if you wanted the template for the perfect power forward, it might be Karl Malone. I mean, he's got everything you want in a 4-man.
And the East All-Stars decide to take their first time out here. Clark, you see Larry and Magic together in those Converse ads. They've become really the faces of the NBA.
And Kevin, I think they've inherited the mantle from the great Dr. J. He's done such a great job representing the league all these years, and certainly he's left it in good hands with those 2.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. He's perfect from the line this time. Now here's Thomas. Michael Jordan on the wing. Launches it. Olajuwon with the rebound. Now the West with the ball. And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday. Clark, can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. And 3 from Jordan. Look at the soft touch of Michael Jordan. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
Kicks it out to Olajuwon. Magic Johnson delivers passes with such pinpoint accuracy. Wow! And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
Yep, the Tennessee Volunteers should be here. Here's Johnson, following the basket by Michael Jordan. English outside. Malone in the high post. The shot missing. Great D that time from Bird. And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smarts. But you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed they do. And plenty of subplots to this game. For more, let's send it over to David Aldridge. DA, take it away.
Thanks very much. Now, this story has never gone away over the years, guys. Isaiah Thomas is, of course, a native Chicagoan, but you'll still hear some boos today from Bulls fans. That's because at that All-Star game a couple of years ago, people questioned whether Isaiah froze out Michael Jordan. And some people still believe it. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, that story has not gone away. Thank you, David. For what it's worth, Clark, Isaiah Thomas denies there was a freeze-out, and Jordan himself says, I never said it, so what do you think?
Well, the reality is we probably never will know the full story.
Now here's Jordan after Magic Johnson's miss. Jordan's shot is off.
You know, I think the effort on defense there has everything to do with why he missed that shot. Well done.
Johnson with it. He's picked up by Jordan. Right side lever. And that one, good.
And Fat Lever snubbed a year ago, now a first-time All-Star, well-deserved. He leads the league in triple-doubles, one of the original stat sheet stuffers, averaging 9 rebounds a game as well. Best by a mile for NBA guards.
Hey, Clark, the record for points in the All-Star game is 42, set by Wilt Chamberlain back in the 1962 All-Star game.
And, you know, a lot of Wilt's records seem virtually untouchable, but I don't think that one is. With all these great scores, who knows? It might be broken tonight.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Now, here's Wilkins, following the miss by Fat Lever. Wilkins, the pass to Bird. From deep, Jordan, the vision of Larry Bird is not to be overlooked. And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
And the West All-Stars have possession. 8-point game. Johnson with it. Guarded now by Larry Bird. Malone against Wilkins. The West again cannot hit.
You know, you'd like to see a little more effort there defensively, but maybe they wanted him to take that shot, baited him into it.
And here's Bird from the arc. And that's your three-point shooting champion, Larry Bird.
How about this list? Players who have never missed an All-Star game in their careers. Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Those last three playing here tonight.
Olajuwon with incredible footwork for a big man. Larkin amidst this All-Star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
There's got to be some excitement, maybe even, Clark, some butterflies playing in the All-Star game. You want to prove you belong out there.
I agree with that, and there can also be the temptation to try to do a little too much, maybe get flashy, but with these players still getting a feel for each other in the flow, a lot to be said for making the simple play.
Nevertheless, a great honor. And the West All-Stars have possession. After the basket by the East All-Stars on the other end. To the paint, 5 on the clock, and the basket by Johnson. And Magic Johnson, Clark, made it clear coming into this game that he wanted the challenge of defending the great Michael Jordan.
He certainly did, and the West as a team will certainly have their work cut out for him trying to slow that guy down.
That is going to be fun to watch. The West trails by 13. Johnson kicks to Lever. Pass to English. That one, no good. The East All-Stars go the other way with it. Wilkins with the ball. Picked up by Malone. Kicks it out to Jordan. There's the triple. English pulls it in. And Michael Jordan won the dunk contest last night, and man, was it great. What a thriller. He and Dominique Clark put on a great show, and you could tell they both wanted it so badly. Perhaps the home court advantage gave Michael Jordan Clark the edge.
And there was another winner from last night, and that was Larry Bird, taking home the trophy in the three-point shootout. And he didn't even need to take off his warm-ups to handle his business.
Clark, somebody told me he looked at the rest of the competitors and said, okay, who's going to be in second place here? Who's going to finish behind me?
Sounds just like him.
Here's what the East is going with right now. Doherty, he's checked in for Malone. Ewing comes in for Wilkins. And it's Rivers in for Isaiah Thomas. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Elijah. Worthy comes in for Malone. McDaniel's checked in for English. And it's Drexler in for Lever. And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right? Wow. And there it is for him.
Magic Johnson in his 8th All-Star game now, 2nd in All-Star votes this year, and he hosts his own All-Star game in the summer in L.A. as a fundraiser, and I understand it's quite an event.
Jordan inside, Drexler defending. And Magic Johnson continuing to orchestrate beautifully. And if there's a rival for the size and athleticism of Michael Jordan, Clark, it might just be Clyde Drexler.
I don't think there's any question about it, Kevin. The Phi Slamma Jamma alum can take flight with the very best of them.
Yep, great athlete. And Larry Bird winning 3 straight MVP awards from 1983 to 1986.
You know who the last player was to do that?
I know I'm going back to the 60s. Something. You tell me.
Yeah,
I know
it's
you
Bill
know.
Russell.
Yeah, right.
It's
of
Bill
course.
Russell, 1960 to 63.
Of course. I'm glad we bring him up. A legend.
Yep.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home the win and the MVP hardware. And so it's Rivers with it. He'll bring it up for the East. They led by as many as 18 points.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star game.
On the floor for the West All-Stars, Drexler out there with Magic Johnson. Then it's Kareem. Then it's McDaniel. And it's Worthy in at the 4 spot. Doherty the pass to Rivers. Kicks it to Bird. From deep 3-point range. Here's Doherty. And it goes down 2 points. Doherty's got his first bucket in this one.
And Doherty's so fundamentally sound as a pivot man for the Cavaliers. I mean, he's got excellent footwork, tremendous touch. He's a gifted passer. He's what you want in a center.
Now here's Abdul-Jabbar. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Just 5 to shoot. Some nice passing here by the West. Lets it go from 11. And Kareem, the elder statesman. 19 years in the NBA. Decades of dominance. Here's Jordan. And not many out there who can elevate like Michael Jordan.
Another big night for Jordan. What a natural scorer he is. MJ simply can do it all.
The West trails by 19. Johnson kicks to Drexler. Jordan against Johnson. No good that time. Now the East will take it the other way. And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin. And, you know, they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them.
And here is Johnson following Larry Bird's 3. Rivers against Drexler. Back to Johnson. Pass to McDaniel. Outside, Drexler. Here's Worthy. It's hauled in by the East All-Stars. Right side, Jordan. This one for 3. Offensive rebound. Here's Ewing. Patrick Ewing is a load inside the paint.
And with Patrick Ewing leading the way, the New York Knicks finally competitive again. The big man has quickly found a rapport with rookie point guard Mark Jackson. They are a team on the rise. Book that.
Timeout called here. The West All-Stars decide to talk it over.
Giving up way too many scores inside. I can see why Coach called the timeout there.
Wilkins comes in for Larry Bird. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Olajuwon's checked in for Abdul-Jabbar. Malone comes in for James Worthy. Aguaya's checked in for McDaniel. And Levers subbed in for Magic Johnson.
And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and, you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
Here's Lever after the basket by the East All-Stars on the other end. Shot to stop the run. The shot, no good. So the East All-Stars will take it the other way. And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
That's a good point. Here is Olajuwon. Patrick Ewing picking up that last basket. And Jordan sends it back.
Boy, much respect for the defense of Jordan. I mean, he gives his all on this end of the floor. I mean, fantastic at getting his hands up to block shots.
Haven't been able to stop this run so far.
The opposition continuing to be absolutely relentless.
And there's the call on Michael Jordan. That's foul number 2 for him. Now a timeout called by the West All-Stars. And now let's go over to David Aldridge with a report on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Thank you, Kevin. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the oldest All-Star in history. This is his 17th game. No one else has been in more than 13. To put that into context, there were 6 players in yesterday's Legends game that were younger than Kareem. Magic Johnson says he respects Kareem more than anyone I know because of the pride this man has in whatever he does. Kevin, back to you.
He is a very proud individual. David, thank you. And Kareem's coming out here, Clark, after spending 2 days in bed with strep throat. I mean, it's remarkable.
And, Kevin, that's exactly the pride Magic was talking about. And that's why it seems like every game we do, Kareem is adding to some type of record that he's already established. Tonight, he could very well become the leading scorer in the history of the All-Star game.
Isn't that phenomenal? They call him captain for a reason. He is truly the leader of this entire NBA.
Yes, sir.
He gets that one.
This is the 4th All-Star game for the Celtics' Kevin McHale. Kids at home will want to learn how to score in the post. Just put the isolated camera on Kevin McHale, please. Moves on top of moves in the paint.
Wilkins finds Jordan. Looking for Ewing, he gets it there. Good ball movement here by the East. From deep. It's rebounded by the West.
Boy, that's a look. He has to finish, and he knows it. Blown opportunity.
Aguirre passes to Olajuwon. He feeds it to Malone. Fades away. That's good. And it's Olajuwon with the assist.
And the 6'9" forward, Karl Malone, out of Louisiana Tech, playing for the Utah Jazz. Tonight, he's wearing number 7 to honor the great Pete Maravich, who himself was a 3-time All-Star with the New Orleans Jazz.
Here is Aguirre. Following the basket by Michael Jordan. Olajuwon trying to break free. Malone, no luck.
Boy, he has to put that one away. A solid opportunity, gone awry.
And it's good, 2 points.
Boy, that's an outstanding find by Ewing. It helps that he's as tall as he is because he's able to look over the floor quite cleanly.
Now, here's Drexler. Pass to Olajuwon. Wilkins against Aguirre. And the pass to Drexler. And here is Lever. From deep three-point range. And it's the East with the rebound. Ewing's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Pretty good display of strength by Jordan there. Absorbed the contact and still able to nail the shot.
And the East with some changes. Malone comes in for Patrick Ewing. And Thomas subbed in for Rivers. Donaldson, he's checked in for the West. English comes in for Aguirre. Oh, and they need a basket in the worst way.
I think they're forcing things right now, and it's why their offense looks so pedestrian.
Now, here's English. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Jordan. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thomas got 3 assists tonight.
Nice work, and they are getting it done at both ends.
Outside Lever. Passes to Drexler. There's 49 seconds left in the first half. Here's English. The silky high release from Alex English.
You know, people said Alex English was too light of frame, too skinny, not athletic enough. Well, how about this? He's playing in his 7th straight All-Star game. So much for being too skinny.
Malone kicks to Wilkins. Thomas passes to Malone, and Jordan has it in the corner. And a miss there on the triple. Outside, English. Lever has the open look. Jordan with the rebound.
Well, I cannot believe he didn't capitalize there, and neither can he.
Lays it up off the glass. Jordan's got 34 points.
And Jordan is simply amazing at finishing through contact. Doesn't matter what you throw at him or who, he finds a way to score.
And so it's the East All-Stars sitting at a lead of 40 points at the end of the quarter. Terrific play. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th. And it's Thomas with the ball. He brings it up for the East All-Stars.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
We've got Dominic Wilkins. Malone is out there with Bird. Then it's Jordan. And it's Thomas in at the point guard position. That's the group for Mike Fratello getting going here in the second half. Johnson's gone 3 for 7 from the floor so far tonight. And of the players in tonight's All-Star game, Clark, 2 have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
Lever passes to English. And Isaiah Thomas picks up the foul.
Isaiah Thomas.
That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here's English. To the inside, Malone. And it's good. Assisting on the play was English. Malone's got 6.
And making his All-Star debut in his 3rd year in the league, Karl Malone, one of 4 players in the NBA, averaging over 20 points and 10 rebounds a game.
And the East with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
Here's English after Moses Malone's score. Shoots over Wilkins. Jordan against Johnson. The high post shot. Jordan's shot is off.
Boy, that's got to be terribly frustrating there. I mean, with the defense not hustling and he still misses. Boy, he wishes he had that one back. Nice clean floater by English, sending his shot on a nice soft high arc to get it over the defense there.
Here's Jordan. Banked in off the glass. Jordan's got 36.
And, you know, they aren't showing any signs of easing up. Their offense looks superb right now.
And out of bounds. The East All-Stars will have it. And that kind of stifling effort on defense needs another look.
Those kinds of plays are the ones that get you on the lead and help keep you in front.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Bird passes to Malone. Finds the open look, and it's on target. Malone's got 4 points this quarter. And Moses Malone Clark, the wily veteran for the Washington Bullets.
And you know, Kevin, his coach Wes Unseld says Malone has really added a level of aggressiveness to the Washington Bullets.
And he brings Clark a championship pedigree to the team.
No doubt.
Here's English after Moses Malone's score. 4 on the clock. Pass to Olajuwon. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. He's got 6. And Clark, when you look at Hakeem Olajuwon's Houston Rockets, here is a team making a lot of moves.
Tell you what, their trade for Joe Barry Carroll and Sleepy Floyd paying huge dividends. They're certainly on the rise in my mind.
Yeah, a lot of people like those moves.
You know, there's been talk about adding a 3rd referee to NBA games. The commissioner and the rules committee are in favor of it, and they plan to put it before the board of governors at the next meeting.
Johnson gets the bucket. Johnson's got 8.
Magic Johnson leads the league in assists, and he's also got the most assists in All-Star game history. He processes the game at another level, folks. You cannot expect Thomas to miss a guy that open. I mean, he's got such a great eye for spotting shooters ready to shoot.
And Clark, with 3 officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball? They can pick up a lot more, certainly with more guys out there.
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the 3rd official, but over time it'll smooth itself out. Off the ball, you know, some things you could get away with in the past, maybe not so much.
Michael Jordan now with 42 points, Clark. He has tied the record for scoring in an All-Star game.
A piece of history. Boy, is he special.
English outside. Johnson dishes to Malone. Lever taking his time here. Takes it from 10. And it's the East with the rebound. Bird's got 4 rebounds in this game. From past the arc. And a dead-eye shooter, Larry Bird.
Larry Bird had it going last night at the Legends game, trying to fill it up tonight as well. And, you know, most of these guys are accustomed to having their team's offense built around them. It's an adjustment for them now to figure out who's going to get the rock most of the time. One of the things you've got to admire and respect about him is his aggressiveness at the offensive end, always in attack mode.
That one drops for him. Johnson's got 6 here in this quarter.
Magic takes a lot of pride in his toughness now. Shows you why on that finish.
And you think about adjusting, Clark, how about the all-star reserves? Guys that start normally are the stars of their team, now off the bench on a team of stars.
Kevin, excellent point. For players who are used to starting the game, probably a rare experience coming in off the bench and trying to get it going. But I think these guys so enjoy being part of this, that sacrifice is not much at all.
You're exactly right. Johnson outside. Olajuwon inside. Malone on him. Olajuwon, no good. Here's Bird. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got 5 assists tonight.
Yeah, you know, going end to end, Larry may not beat you with pure speed. Matter of fact, he won't beat you with speed, but his instincts, platinum level off the chart as a finisher.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Here's Lever.
2 minutes.
Thomas with the block. And he recovers it. And they pick up 2.
Lever.
Lever's got his second bucket of the night. 1:51 left in the third quarter. Here's Thomas. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
Boy, Isaiah Thomas, such a creative ball handler. Rush hour handles and a fantastic feel for how to break defenses down.
Outside Lever. Here's Malone. Wilkins grabs the miss. And here is the East now. Here's Jordan. And it's a new single-game record in scoring for the All-Star game, set right in front of us by Michael Jordan.
What an incredible athlete, Kevin, and it seems whatever he sets his mind to do, he can do it. Impressive.
English against Wilkins. On the wing, Johnson. It's rebounded by Malone. Malone's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Wilkins. The East All-Stars take on 2 more.
And Dominique Wilkins is the go-to scorer for the Hawks, no question about that. And he's embraced that leadership role as well. Obviously a huge part of the Hawks' success.
Here's English. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
You know, when you think of Alex English, I think about all the buckets he gave me and everybody else during his time of ravaging defenses. He's a volume shooter and a big-time scorer.
Doherty's checked in for Moses Malone. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Elijah. Worthy comes in for Karl Malone. McDaniels checked in for Magic Johnson. And it's Drexler in for Lever.
Well, Jordan is something to watch slamming home the ball, man. This guy is really strong and does it with force.
From about 19 feet, the shot's good. Jordan's got 48.
What a competitor. He's been looking for a shot all game long, and he's really shouldered the load for them offensively.
Here's Drexler. Can't connect from short range. And so it's the East All-Stars, able to put on a show for the ages. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this. Welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
On the court for the West All-Stars, Donaldson is out there with Worthy. Then there's Drexler. Then it's McDaniel. And it's Aguirre in at the shooting guard position. Pass to Aguirre. Here's Donaldson. Some solid defense from Doherty. Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are graped up pretty good.
Drexler passes to Donaldson. Back to Drexler. Shot clock at 6. The West All-Stars need to get a shot off here. Worthy can't hit. Here are the East All-Stars. Here in the 4th quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Bird, the pass to Jordan. Great play by Bird to set it up. Jordan's got 18 points just in the second half. Down the stretch here, the East, Clark out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch. Entertaining from both sides.
It sure has been.
Tell you what, Jordan, such a strong defender. Outstanding at reading the opposition and pouncing on those steals.
The pass to McDaniel. Back to Drexler. Outside, Aguirre. The West again cannot hit. The East All-Stars on offense. They've got an 8-0 run. A nice shot by Jordan.
Their offense has really stood out. They're piling up the points and torching this defense.
Passes it to McDaniel. Cheeks against Drexler. Pass to McDaniel. Down low. Some nice passing here by the West. Missed inside.
Struggling to find their flow while the other team is on the roll.
Here's Jordan, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. It's going to go on Clyde Drexler.
Hard not to respect how tough Jordan is inside. Really good at angling his body to pick up the foul call.
Michael Jordan, 2 shots.
First one falls for him. And the East with some changes. Ewing's checked in for Doherty. McHale comes in for Bird. And Danny Ainge is subbed in for Isaiah Thomas. And West also making a switch. Johnson's checked in.
We all know about Michael's offensive prowess, okay? But he's incredible defensively as well. He works hard at that end, and that's rare for a star. And after the Central Division, the Midwest has been the second most competitive division. Those teams are sitting at 10 games over 500.
Out to Ewing. Pass to McHale. Cheeks outside. Outside, Jordan. Ewing trying to get open. The offensive rebound. And he uses the glass on the layup.
The #1 overall pick in 1985, and it was an all-star rookie season for Patrick Ewing. Hurt last year, but nice to see him back where he belongs, right in the all-star game.
Aguirre passes to Donaldson. Here's Worthy. To the middle, trying to end the drought. And that one is stuffed right through. And in his 8th season in the NBA, James Donaldson making Clark his first all-star appearance.
And you know, Kevin, before his NBA career, he actually played his first professional season in Italy. So he's taken the path less traveled for sure.
He said, "Arrivederci" to Italy to come to the NBA.
Yes, he did.
And Clark in the Midwest, those Rockets are really making a push.
Kevin.
And they're doing it behind Hakeem Olajuwon. To me, he's the best center in the NBA. They certainly got a chance to give the Lakers a run for their money.
Oh, yeah. And Johnson drops them both.
You know, Johnson is really one of the more unique point guards that we've had in the game over the years. And he's able to do it with style and substance.
And that one is good.
Terrific focus to get to the basket there.
And the West All-Stars with possession. Johnson, the pass to McDaniel. Back to Johnson. They double-team Johnson. Here's Donaldson. Ewing defending. And Donaldson gets it to go. And the 7-2 center from the Mavericks, James Donaldson.
You know, I think he's the only lefty in this game. Larry Bird and Danny Ainge right left-handed, but they shoot it with their right hand.
You and I have talked about this before, but defending a lefty is different than defending clearly a right-handed shooter.
Throws you off just a little bit, Kevin. And Commissioner David Stern in the house tonight. Since taking over 4 years ago, he's done a remarkable job helping guide this league to new unprecedented heights.
Exactly. There's the pass to Worthy. Inside. And Donaldson gets it to go.
An absolute bully in the lane. Nothing the smaller defender could do there.
And here's the East. They've given up just 8 points in the 4th quarter. Cheeks the pass to McHale. On the wing, Jordan. Ewing trying to get open. And there's Michael Jordan, the assist by McHale. One thing the league has done since Commissioner Stern has taken over Clark is really marketing the league around its stars. And I like that type of strategy.
I agree with you, Kevin, wholeheartedly. And what better time to highlight those great stars than tonight? Amazing talent, compelling personalities. The league is certainly on a great trajectory.
It absolutely is. Count that bucket.
The touch on Jordan's close-range shots is really outstanding. He almost makes it look simple and easy to score in close like that.
2 minutes.
Aguirre kicks to Johnson. .151 left in the 4th. The 15-footer, good.
No idea what they were thinking there defensively. I mean, that's a shot he makes often.
Here's Jordan, and he banks in the layup.
Got to give Jordan credit there. I mean, he's got a knack for making tough shots in the paint.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the West. Knocked loose, stolen by Cheeks. Jordan inside, Aguirre covering. Michael Jordan again.
Down the stretch, when you need buckets, go to the guy who's gotten you this far.
Passes it to McDaniel. Here's Donaldson. Some nice passing here by the West. Pass to McDaniel. It's rebounded by Ewing. Ewing's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. And Patrick Ewing with the slam.
Well, it's always good to see big guys like Ewing aggressively and forcefully take it to the rim and throw it down.
And the West All-Stars have possession. Outside, Aguirre. Here's Worthy. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Great defense that time from Ewing. And he makes good on the layup.
Not coasting to victory. They're running through the tape. Run through that finish line.
Johnson, the pass to McDaniel. Dishes it to Worthy to end the run. He can't get that one. And the East now will go the other way with it. Here's Jordan. It's blocked, and they'll keep possession. Good work there as it goes. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Johnson, the pass to Aguirre. Here's McDaniel. That's in there, coming off the assist from Aguirre. And Clark, with his strength and quickness, Xavier McDaniel, a very tough guy to cover.
Well, he's versatile. You talk about that strength and athleticism. 92% of the time in his career, he scored in double figures. Very consistent.
My goodness. And the Eastern All-Stars deliver. The favorites coming in, but they did not disappoint.
Yeah, you looked at that team on paper and you saw they were the stronger team and should have been favored. But you still got to go out and prove it, and they did exactly that.
And so much scoring in that lineup for the East. My goodness, look at those names. That's always going to be tough to stop.
And you factor in the raucous crowd cheering on Michael Jordan, Kevin. No wonder they found that extra gear they needed when it was time to get it done.
That's a good point. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. So long, everyone.